about the subject.
Two-seater sports car. And now, 30 years on, there are two new fab and groovy ragtops for bright young things about town. But it's a sign of the times that one is German and the other is Japanese. The success story of the MX5 is, in a way, the story of the Japanese motor industry. Somewhere in Japan, a Mazda employee said, "Hey, you know those two-seater British sports cars that the British were so good at selling to the Americans back in the 50s and 60s? Well, now that they don't bother anymore, why don't we do it? But instead of making them fragile and unreliable, we'll borrow that tired old four-cylinder engine out of one of our horrible saloon cars and stick it in there, and the thing will be reliable. And we'll make it very simple so that nothing gets in the way of the raw purity of the driving experience. We'll make a car that's not very fast, but which emphasises and accentuates the sensation of speed, that maximises the enjoyment of driving." You'll read all sorts of macho prose in the British motoring press about how two-seater sports cars like this have been eclipsed by the new generation of homologation rally specials like the Subaru this, that and the other, and the Mitsubishi Evo 78 or whatever it is. But although those cars are phenomenally quick, what they don't often give you is the sensation of speed. And for me, that's something that the Mazda MX5 has always done beautifully. Still a bit of a hairdresser's car though. What's wrong with hairdressers? My wife's a hairdresser and she drives like a lunatic. They're always complaining about the interior as well. They've always complained about the interior in the MX5, that it's plain, that it's dull, but it's boring. But get in the Lotus Elan, an original Colin Chapman Elan from the 60s, and there's nothing. There's just the speedo, the rev counter, a steering wheel and a stick out of the floor. That's about it. Because of course, the more stuff you put in a sports car, the more it weighs. Weight is the enemy. Weight is what holds it down, what stops it being fun in the corners, that stops the driving experience from being the huge giggle that it really ought to be every single time you get in it. I like it. I like the fact that it's plain, that it's simple, that these little controls here remind me of a Lotus, that these stalks are sort of very utilitarian and 60s. It's all in the Lotus tradition. There's one thing very wrong with this car though, that is the colour. I think this is Mazda's take on Lotus's traditional Norfolk mustard, but they got the recipe wrong somehow, and it's come out looking like, well, children. When they get up in the middle of the night, you find it in the middle of the bedroom carpet. Horrible. This 2-litre Z3 is a sophisticated brute, the driving experience is one of sheer pleasure. It is a privilege to operate the controls of this car. They have a beautifully, exquisitely weighted feel to them. And the sound of the exhaust now is just music. Very nice. But of course, all this sophistication brings into question the true nature of this car. Is it really what it appears to be? You see, the thing is, the Z3 isn't really a two-seater sports car. Not in the same sense that the MX5 is, and certainly not in the sense that a sports car was back in the 60s when we were making them. If we compare it to anything British, and especially a British sports car, it'd be the original Series 1 E-Type with a straight-six engine, like this car. It's not very chuckable, or at least it doesn't feel it. It's the sort of car that would you could nip down to the south of France for a dirty weekend in. It'd look just the job parked outside the Carlton Hotel. Never mind the stereo, you could listen to the exhaust on the way down, and whoever you took with you, male, female, or, I don't know, take your pick, they'd surely enjoy the experience. It's an open-top Grand Tourer in the Grand tradition. But in a way, it's a pastiche. I've compared it to the E-Type, but in looks, it's like comparing Pamela Anderson with Audrey Hepburn. One is overblown and artificial, and one is just exquisitely beautiful, and I'll leave it to you, work out which is which. thing I do like is this button, because when you press that button, you can do this. We have a small problem. You see, when we set out, I thought that I was comparing like with like. But you know, there's only one true two-seater sports car here, and it's not the Z3. The Z3, especially this new 2-litre with a straight-six engine, is just too smooth and sophisticated to be a proper sports car. A sports car needs to be raw. This is the sort of car that will be bought by moneyed matrons in Miami. The sort of folk who would have previously gone out and bought a ragtop Mustang or a convertible Corvette. Don't get me wrong, there are lots of things to like about the Z3, not least the exhaust, which is just glorious. But in my book, there is one cast iron rule about sports cars, and that is keep it simple. The Z3 is just, well, it's trying too hard. When I heard that there was to be a new MX5, I worried. I worried that, like all sports cars, in its old age, it will get slow and fat. No such thing. Every improvement that's been made to this car has been for the good. It's still the most fun you can get, and affordable fun at that. This MX5 is a car in the same spirit as those Triumphs, Lotuses and MGs of the 60s, with just one difference. It is much, much better.
We're back in Top Gear GTI tomorrow at 7. Next tonight, it's no holiday for the crew, it's some holiday for the passengers of the cruise.